Breaking news, everyone. Major changes are on the horizon for the Department for Work and Pensions, or DWP, as the newly elected Labour government has just announced a staggering £6 billion in cuts to benefits. This shocking development has ignited widespread concern and debate across the UK, particularly among vulnerable individuals, including those with disabilities and those relying on universal credit. The DWP's proposed plan includes tightening eligibility for personal independence payments, or PIP, freezing certain benefits to tackle rising welfare costs, and altering how universal credit is calculated for those with disabilities or health conditions. These measures are being touted as part of a broader effort to reform the welfare system, aimed at reducing government spending while encouraging more people to return to the workforce. But at what cost? Critics are sounding the alarm, arguing that these cuts could deepen poverty, especially for disabled individuals who depend on these benefits to meet their daily needs. Labour MP Liz Kendall recently made headlines on ITV News, stating that some individuals have been taking the mickey by claiming benefits when they are capable of working. She acknowledged that while some may feel trapped due to long waiting lists for medical treatment or lack of support from job centres, the current system is in dire need of change. The government's proposed cuts are expected to save £5 billion by imposing stricter eligibility criteria for PIP, which is designed to assist people with the extra costs of living with disabilities. A spokesperson from the DWP defended these cuts, claiming that the welfare system is broken and in need of reform. They argue that the goal is to create a system that better supports those with disabilities who can work while ensuring fairness for taxpayers. However, one of the most alarming aspects of this plan is the potential freezing of benefits, meaning payments would not increase in line with inflation. Critics argue that this approach will only exacerbate the financial struggles of those already living in poverty. According to reports from Birmingham Live, the government plans to introduce these reforms as part of a broader strategy to boost the employment rate to 80%. But will these cuts truly unlock more job opportunities, or will they push more people into financial despair? Universal credit, which provides financial support for those out of work or earning low wages, will see a mixed impact. While the basic rate for universal credit will increase for those actively searching for work, it will be reduced for individuals deemed unfit for work due to health reasons. This change has sparked outrage from disability advocacy groups, who warn that it could push even more people into poverty. James Taylor, Executive Director of the Disability Equality charity Scope, voiced his concerns, stating that cutting PIP would be catastrophic for disabled individuals. He emphasized that PIP is not just a handout, it's a vital source of support for those facing higher living costs. Many disabled individuals rely on PIP to cover essential expenses like transportation and mobility aids. Without this financial support, Taylor warns that they will be further marginalized and pushed into poverty. The impact of these cuts extends beyond just those with disabilities. Laura Thomas, Head of Policy at the MS Society, expressed deep concern for individuals living with multiple sclerosis. She explained that many already struggle to afford essentials like food and medication, and any further reduction in benefits could lead to dire financial distress. The uncertainty surrounding these cuts has caused widespread anxiety among EMS sufferers, who are already grappling with the unpredictable effects of their condition. In a bid to soften the blow, the government has also announced a £1 billion investment in employment support for job seekers. The DWP claims this investment will help disabled individuals and others with health conditions return to work. However, critics argue that the government is prioritizing cost savings over the well-being of disabled people. Louise Murphy, a senior economist at the Resolution Foundation, pointed out that while some reforms could assist those with poor health in finding work, the proposed cuts to disability benefits would have devastating consequences. Freezing PIP payments, Murphy warns, would result in a real-term income loss for around 4 million people, the majority of whom live in low to middle-income households. The scale of these cuts could redefine who the government considers to be disabled, further marginalizing those who rely on these benefits to live with dignity. As the government attempts to strike a balance between reducing welfare spending and supporting individuals who are unable to work, many disability rights groups argue that these reforms are not the solution. They warn that focusing on cutting welfare costs risks worsening the already precarious situation faced by many disabled individuals and their families. The proposed changes have sparked a fierce debate in Parliament, with various MPs voicing their concerns. Some argue that the government is taking a sledgehammer to a system that needs careful reform rather than a complete overhaul. The Labour Party has been vocal in its opposition, emphasizing the need for a welfare system that supports the most vulnerable in society rather than punishing them. Moreover, the implications of these cuts extend beyond immediate financial concerns. The psychological impact on individuals who rely on these benefits cannot be understated. Many disabled individuals already face stigma and discrimination in society, and these cuts could further marginalize them, leading to increased mental health issues. The fear of losing essential support can create a sense of hopelessness and anxiety, which can be debilitating in itself. The government's plans also raise questions about the future of the welfare state in the UK. Are we moving towards a system that prioritizes cost-cutting over compassion? The balance between encouraging employment and providing necessary support for those unable to work is a delicate one. Critics argue that the proposed reforms could lead to a culture of fear, where individuals feel pressured to return to work before they are ready, risking their health and well-being. In addition to the immediate effects on individuals, these cuts could have broader societal implications. A reduction in financial support for disabled individuals could lead to increased reliance on emergency services and healthcare systems, ultimately costing the government more in the long run. The idea that cutting benefits will lead to a more productive workforce is a contentious one, with many experts arguing that it could have the opposite effect. The DWP spokesperson has stated that the goal is to create a system that helps people with disabilities find employment while ensuring that those who need support can access it. However, many disability rights groups argue that these reforms are not the solution and will only result in greater inequality. By focusing on reducing welfare costs, they argue, the government risks worsening the already precarious situation faced by many disabled individuals and their families. As we delve deeper into this issue, it's essential to consider the voices of those directly affected by these proposed changes. Many individuals have taken to social media to share their stories, highlighting the challenges they face in their daily lives. These personal accounts serve as a powerful reminder of the human impact of policy decisions and the importance of listening to those who are most affected. In conclusion, the proposed cuts to DWP benefits are set to have far-reaching consequences, particularly for those who rely on these payments to support their daily lives. While the government insists that these reforms are necessary for the sustainability of the welfare system, critics argue that they will disproportionately impact disabled individuals, pushing them further into poverty. As the debate over these cuts continues, it's clear that the future of welfare support in the UK is a pressing concern for vulnerable populations. The DWP's plans may be framed as part of a broader effort to reform the system, but the potential consequences for those affected could be severe.